Hello, this video has been a very long time coming. It's 2025. I've had to take stock of how much money I've been spending on makeup. I tracked my spending for 2023 and 2024, and I have vowed to not buy any eyeshadow palettes, any lipsticks and any blushes in 2025. So this video, we're going to talk about how much money I actually did spend in 2023 and 2024, and we're going to do a declutter of the eyeshadow palettes I've used. So these are not all the eyeshadow palettes that I own. I have actually got eyeshadow palettes that I haven't used yet. They are in separate videos. They are called my shame stack videos. I will post a link down below if you want to view those. There's still some I haven't used that are within the previous videos, and there is an upcoming shame stack video coming. I'm just waiting for some pre-orders from 2024 to arrive. Unfortunately, I had an issue with a Nomad package and they've actually lost it, then found it, and it's damaged, so I'm not going to get it. So I need to figure out what's going to happen with that. But anyway, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to talk about the palettes that I've got. I'm going to talk about whether I'm going to keep them or not. And if I decide not to keep them, I'm going to be passing them on. But first, let's talk about the numbers. So obviously, there is no judgment, and there can't be any judgment because I don't care what you think, basically. This is my money and I will spend it how I want. I just kind of really turned my hair white when I realised how much money I spent in 2023, and I made a promise to make sure that I spent less than that in 2024. And again, I just don't want to buy any more eyeshadow in 2025. I definitely don't need it. This video is going to demonstrate exactly how much I do not need it. So in 2023, I spent a total of $13,204.60 on makeup. I spent $1,185.90 on brushes. A lot of money, a lot of money. So I tracked me spending month by month for 2024. It was actually supposed to be a low buy, no buy year. That didn't happen. A few things happened, personal issues, a few losses in the family, and things like that. And I'm very aware that to self-soothe, I spend money. So I have got that awareness, and I'm just going to make sure that this year I practice other things than spending for self-soothing. So in total, I spent $8,253.50. However, I did earn in gift cards and affiliate commission $116.52. So it's a total of $8,136.98. It's still not great, but it is so much better than what I spent in 2023. So I'm just going to quickly, I say quickly, it's probably going to take us quite a while. I'm going to go through all the eyeshadow palettes that I have and that I've used. Some of these I've had for a couple of years. The majority of them I think have been used probably a handful of times. Most of them 2 or 3 times. There'll be a couple that I've only actually used once. So, well, I'm just going to get into it because otherwise we'll be here all day. This is a Chanel quad. I will be keeping this. This is off my partner as a gift. I can't even open it. It's really good for travel. It's just neutral brown eyeshadows. There's a kind of satiny, 2 satins, a matte, and then a shimmer, a gold shimmer. Don't think you can go too far wrong with that. So I am going to hang on to that and keep that for when I go traveling. This was my nemesis. This is the Jackdaw palette by Narimi. And this is what it looks like inside. It is very beautiful. I have actually got a video on using this, which I will post the link for down below. Was a nightmare, didn't enjoy using it at all. I do want to try and use the greens to see how I'd get on with them. But I actually think that this will leave my collection this year. I don't think I'm going to hang on to that at all. The Crow palette by Wicked Widow Beauty. It is beautiful. It is so beautiful. It's a very dark, moody, deep colour story. The shimmers are spectacular in this, so I will be hanging on to that. We've got Harvest Moon by Ainsley Rain Cosmetics. I don't support this brand anymore because they're trash. Colour Story is beautiful though. Shadows are beautiful. I'll keep it because it was a lot of money. But otherwise I will not be buying from them again. Born This Way. What's this called? The Natural Nudes Too Faced. Not a fan of Too Faced at all. I'm going to give this one, pass this one on. It's just a very neutral, boring colour story. Not for me. This is the Los Angeles BH Cosmetic. I think a lot of people loved this palette. And I bought it because I wanted to try it to see what it was like. I wasn't impressed. I mean, the colour payoff's not bad, but it just didn't do anything amazing for us. So that one I'm actually going to be passing on as well. This one I won in an Instagram giveaway and I was absolutely buzzing. It's called A Moment With You and it's by Moira. It's the first and only thing I've ever tried by Moira. Shadow quality is good, but the colour story confuses the goddamn life out of us. It's just browns and then pinky mauves, and then there's a yellow there, and then there's an orange, and it's weird. It's like a neutral colour story but with some odd choices of colour. I will pass this one on because I've got similar things that are better performing than this. Then we've got the Obsession palette by Artitude Cosmetics. This is supposed to be like a interpretation of an autumn leaf. What I say is supposed to be, I think they've achieved that really well. I love it. Shimmers in here are absolutely outstanding. I've used this palette only once and I'm excited to use it again. So I'll be keeping that. This was my palette of the year, the Glaminatrix Cosmetics. Barely Basic. I've actually used this 7 times. So this is not going anywhere. It is stunning. Absolutely stunning. Yeah, it's just so easy. If I don't want to have to think about putting makeup on but I still want it to look great, that's the palette I'm using for sure. This is Cash Beauty and it was the Midnight Metals. And this is cool as well. It's just a nice smoky, like it gives you just a nice smoky look, and then it's got this here if you want some little glitz on at the top. And that's perfect for travelling for me. So I'm keeping that. Makeup by Mario, the Master Metals palette. This was like $70 and I don't understand the hype around it. I'm going to keep it because it was $70, but I just think there's just better metallics out there and that don't come with that price point. This is the Vive Cosmetics and I think this is the Essential palette. This held a special place in my heart and this was the only palette I owned for quite some time. The pans are huge, but I do have other colour stories that'll kind of, I think I've got sentimental value. I'm going to hang on at this one. Oh, I've just shoved my finger in it. Great. I'm going to hang on to that one, I think. This is Cinderella by Spectrum Collections. It's pink and just like a beigey colours. The quality is really nice. I'm just not going to use it, so I'm going to pass that one on. Right, this is another one where I spent way too much money and it's just, I don't think it's worth the price tag and everybody raved about it and now I can't open it because I've got nails on. The Lisa Eldridge Sorcery palette. Come on, man. I can't open it. Aha. So this is what it looks like. It's very luxurious, but I just struggle with it. Got a hair on this. I struggle with it. I really do. I'm keeping it, but I'm going to use it this year because I need to get my head around why so many people raved about it. Don't know. Dragon Eye by What's Up Beauty. This is my first and only palette by What's Up Beauty, and I really like it. Shimmers are beautiful. Again, small enough for travel, so I'm keeping this one. I love that green. So glorious. Very nice. Haunted Pumpkin. I love this theme. This was in one of my Shame Stack videos. I love the theming, I love the packaging, I love the colour story. This shadow quality isn't fantastic in terms of like shimmers and stuff, but I really liked the mattes. They were beautiful and I want to hang on to that because I'm excited to use it more. And this is the Earthy palette by Beauty Bay. And this is just every single kind of green you could imagine. I've only just used this once and dipped into it once, so I want to keep it because I like it. Alright, so those are the ones where I've just got single palettes from brands. The next, these ones I've got multiple palettes from each brand. We're down 4 so far. I don't think that's too bad. Next up we've got Necromancy Cosmetica. So these are a brand from Puerto Rico, a little indie brand. They're designed like this to look like little books. This was their first palette, and it folds out like this. It's got glorious artwork. It's got a little mirror, which is obviously only going to be good for lipstick. This is what the colour stories look like. So they are very interesting packaging wise. I'm not crazy about this colour story, so I am actually going to let this one go. The second one I've got from them is Swamp of Sorrows, which is this colour story. It's upside down. Why is this not sticking properly? Sorry, the mirror keeps coming off. Bloody hell. Right, I don't know why, but the mirror is just not playable. This is what it looks like. This is more my speed. Again, perfect for travel. So I'm going to hang on to that one. Why are you not working? You're irritating us. I'm going to put it on the other side, maybe? Dunno. And I've got 4 palettes from Colourpop. So these, I've actually got a video on these as well, which I'll post down below. We've got the Mandalorian, which has got my favourite kind of multi-chrome in the middle here. This warm pop of mustard, which I like. The multi-chrome's like that earthy brown base with like a green blue shift. Gorgeous. And then we've got Darth Vader, which is grey, cool, and that pop of red in the middle. And then we've got the Child palette, which is just greens and golds and browns. And then we've got C3PO, which is goldy leaning. You know, every time I pick my palettes up and I'm like, I've got so many good makeup and I'm like, I probably could let these go, but then I look at them and I'm like, I don't know what it is. I think it's just because they're so small and dinky and they're just very well curated, and I love the artwork. Oh, it's a tough one. I'm going to think about these. They're in the maybe pile. Maybe. Next up we've got Pat McGrath. So this is a quad, and the only reason I bought this quad is for this shade here, which is similar to that Mandalorian multi-chrome. It's just better quality. I'm keeping this just for that shade. Love it. This is the Mothership. Which one? It's Utopian. I'm really... It's heavy as. Packaging's very luxe. The only reason I would keep this is for these 2 shades here. But I've got similar things in other palettes. So I actually think I'm going to get rid of this one. Believe it or not, I've only used it 3 times. But someone else get dry out of it. This is one of the holiday editions. It was the Mothership Mega Celestial Odyssey. I've used this a fair few times as well. It's, you know, what a Mothership palette looks like. Rose tones, but this has got some interesting colour combos like these 2 here. And I've made some pretty nice looks with this. So, do I want to keep it or do I not? Yeah, I'm going to keep this one. I like that. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gone. 4 maybes. Next up, oh bloody hell, just now chuck them everywhere. Lethal Cosmetics. This is the Night Flower palette. This is what it looks like. I've only used this once. A lot of people rank this. A lot of people rank this pretty high. So I feel like I want to play with it a little bit more to truly understand what people loved about it. I didn't dislike it. I just didn't fall in love with it. I'm really intrigued about this colour here though. It's like a duochrome. They don't have shade names. That's really frustrating. Like that. Midnight Serenade. This is fantastic. It's a gorgeous colour story. I'm keeping this. Yeah. Beautiful. And these two, unbelievable. This is Avatar Last Airbender collab. This is the Earth palette. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And this one I've used 3 times because I love it that much. This is the Water palette, and I actually preferred this one over the Earth. I also have the Fire palette, but I haven't used that yet, but I'm keeping them. Next up, we have a Shroud Cosmetics. A bit of controversy around a Shroud, you just can familiarise yourself with it. It's pretty boring. I will say, if you like any of these palettes, just be careful and do your research before you order from the website. This is the Arcana palette. This is what the colour story looks like. It's jewelled. I really like the quality of these shadows. I've used it twice, I think. Would like to use it a bit more, so I'm going to keep it. This is the first collab from Batty Bean. It's Freaking Bats. It's got a very unique colour story, which I love. I'm hanging on to that. And this is the second one, which was Halloween. And this was this. I don't really know what else to say about that. This is the second release and it's a Halloween one. Halloween colour story, keeping it that. I missed some that I don't have multiple palettes of. Huda Beauty, the rose quartz. I did used to have some of the 9 pans from Huda, but I got rid of them. This is what it looks like. It's still very pretty. It's still very special. I haven't stuck my fingers in it enough. I'm keeping it. And then we've got the Fantasy Cosmetica Druid palette. I have got another Fantasy Cosmetica palette, but I haven't used that yet. The colour story is absolutely 100% my vibe, jam, up my street, whatever you want to say. I'm keeping that. And then I've got Natasha Denona. This is the Yucca palette. Obviously everyone went mental for it. You can see why. That's not going anywhere. She is mine. And this one is my first Natasha Denona. It's just a little 5 pan. I think it's the mini star, it is. I took this to England twice. I'll probably take it again. It's great for travel, and it's got my favourite kind of multi-chrome in. So there we go. Multi-chrome, dual chrome. Who knows? I've got to stop leaning out of shot. I've got Kaleidos. I've got 2 of the Futurism. This is the Astro Pink Futurism 3. Colour story looks like this. Artwork's nice, nice little package. I wasn't blown away when I used this, but I feel like I need to give it a second chance, so I'm keeping that. And then this is the Futurism 5, which is the Electro Turquoise, which I think was the one that people most went wild about. I want to keep that. I really like that colour story. Love orange and turquoise together. Next we are on to Warden's Eye. I'm going to talk about this palette because this is what I've got on my eyes today. I've got this side on, obviously. This one I'm yet to make a video on. That'll be coming soon, so stay tuned. Obviously going to keep this. This is brand new to me. Colour story is beautiful. Wouldn't give it up. This is the Merry Christmas palette. I'm sure everyone's seen this. If you haven't, this is what it looks like. Used this on Christmas Day this year. Used it on Christmas Day last year. I really like it. I love it. It's very festive. There's some unusual tones in here, and I love the shade names. Gingerbread is one of my favourites. And this was the Christmas Eve palette. I used this Christmas Eve and last Christmas Eve, and it's got one of the most interesting colour stories ever. This here, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. You don't believe it when you put it on your eyes, and that's what I mean by saying unbelievable. I'm not just saying it. I put it on my eyes and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was amazing. Alright, we've got quite a few more from Warden's Eye. So this is the, we'll stick with the Christmas theme. Oh, bloody hell. This was the Snow Dream palette. This came out last year. And this is what it looks like inside. This colour story is a bit of a challenge for me. So I am going to hang on to it because I want to make it work for us. But there's not much deepening shades. And I really like a palette that's got deepening shades because my eyes turn down. So if I don't have anything to deepen the corners, it kind of looks sad. I need something to push them back and lift them up. If it's too light, it just makes us look sad. And I don't want to look sad because I'm very, very happy. We have got the Halloween collection from not this year, not 2024, 2023. So this is the Trick or Treat palette. Is that what it's called? Trick or Treat palette, yeah. And that was the collab with Angela Vernick. Gorgeous. They're very vibrant shades and the shadows performed beautifully. And this was the second palette from that collection, which is Little Ghost, which looks like this. I've only used this once to do a clown look, so I really need to use it again. Then we have Stone and Rock. So this was the George's. I don't actually know who that is. George's collection, I think it was called. So we've got the Stone and Rock palette, and it's got my favourite kind of colour story, grungy mossy greens. And then we've got the Jewels and Gem palette, which is this pinky, grey leaning, cool loveliness. And I'm not finished using that, so I'll be keeping all of them. Alright, next up we've got Danessa Merrick's. So this is the Lightwork 4, but it's not, no it's not, it's the Lightwork Volume 3, but it's just the Experience palette. I missed out on the full size. This is what the Danessa Merrick's palette should look like. Messy, because these shadows are unbelievable. And I mean, there's other brands that do something similar now, but I believe that Danessa was the first one to kind of do it. I still get blown away when I look at this. It is gorgeous. I'm obviously keeping that. This was the Lightwork 4, slightly bigger, and we've got a little bit more textures in this one. Gorgeous. Won't be giving that away in a hurry. Really want to use that again shortly. Luna Beauty. So this is the Full Fantasy. This was a collab with Laura Lee. I have no idea who she is. She looks a bit like a Kardashian. It's quite a neutral palette with some interesting twists again. That duochrome popping up in there. I really love Luna Beauty formula, so I'm definitely not getting rid of that. And then this is the Siren Sunset, which is a deeper, darker colour story. And there's no chance I am getting rid of this one either. Alright, now we've got Blend Bunny. So we've got the Sickly Sweet palette, which is the pastel palette with some depth in there, which, as I've just explained, is something that I really look for in a palette and need. Not even just look for, I need it. This is the Sugar and Grunge. This is what it looks like. I've only used this one twice. I really want to use it a little bit more. I've actually only used that Sickly Sweet one once. So definitely want to get into that a little bit more. Same with the Surge palette. I don't think this one's around anymore. Neither is the Sugar and Grunge. And this has got neons in. The neons are not great. They're good, but they're not great. I know that Blend Bunny has improved on that formula, but I love the fact that it goes from light to dark and it's got the shimmer. It just makes everything so easy. And then this is my favourite Blend Bunny palette that I've used so far. I have actually got the Divination palette, but I haven't used it yet. This is what it looks like. This side, absolutely glorious. I've used it. This side I haven't used, but because the formulas and the overall like quality is great, I'm quite excited to use the second part of that palette. Even though I claimed I wasn't interested in it, now that I have it, I'm quite intrigued to see how it performs. Up next we have the Bella Beauté bar. The Bella Beauté bar, we'll just have Bella Beauté bar. This is the Secret Garden palette, and this looks like this. Tis smashing, absolutely gorgeous. I'm actually doing a collab with someone in a couple of weeks' time using that palette. This is the Strange and Unusual. This is the first palette I got from Bella Beauté bar, and I love it. It's actually been remastered, but the original formula, which is this one, I had absolutely no problems with. This Afterlife is spectacular, and this is when I fell in love with red shadows. So good, so good, and I love the artwork on this. Fantastic. Then we have recently de-influenced. I have done one of my most favourite looks ever using this palette. I used this side, the purple side. I'm really keen to use the warmer side as well. Absolutely beautiful. Quality is outstanding. If you haven't tried Bella Beauty Bar before, you probably should. I actually do have a code with them. I think it's still valid. I'll put it down below. And this is Basic Witch, still Bella Beauty Bar. I've only used this once, really want to use it some more. This was voted a lot of people's palette of the year in 2023. I've only used the purples. I'm really keen to use some of these greens and some of the pinks. So I'm definitely liking that. We're not doing great here, are we? Up next we've got titanium foxes. So these are new to me. This is Poppy Quiet. And this is what the colour story looks like. The shimmers are something else in these palettes. They're unbelievable. Like, they look great there. Swatching them, you wouldn't believe. Unreal, unreal. And then the sister palette to that, which was the first one, was Poppy Storm. And this is what the colour story looks like. Dark, grungy, moody. Exactly what I want in my life. There is a symbol on this camera. I don't know what it means. I think it means it's getting too hot. Hopefully it doesn't stop. I might turn it off just to let it cool down a bit. I'll be back. We're back after a brief intermission. Cosmic Brushes. I believe it's changed its name to Cosmic Beauty. So this is the Gothic palette. This was a Valentine's Day release, I believe, or was it Halloween? I'm not too sure. I have used this palette, but I feel like I've got other palettes with the same colour story in. I do love Cosmic Beauty, Cosmic Brushes formula, but I think I'm ready to let this one go. There's nothing that that's jumping out at us that makes us want to hang on to this palette, so I'm going to pass it on. Then we have the Serenity palette, which looks like this. This is not leaving my side. This colour story really inspires us. I just love the greens and the purples together. It's really, really beautiful. This is Muse, and similar again, the greens and those pops of colour amongst them. Really beautiful and really inspiring, so I'm going to hang on to that one as well. We've got the Wonderland, which obviously was a winter Christmas holiday collection. Lots of blues. Really like this one as well. Absolutely, this shade here, it's a duochrome. I loved how this performed, and I was very, very impressed. Oh, actually no, I wasn't. The blues I struggled to blend. I'm willing to give it another go because purples are hard, so I'm going to give them a go. And this was the Delicious Delights, which is nice and bold and beautiful and bright, and I still want to continue playing with this one, so I'm going to keep that as well. Next we have Unearthly Cosmetics. So this is the Devour palette. The artwork on these palettes is spectacular. This is what the colour story looks like. Very dark, moody, grungy. Very, very on theme for the artwork. Stunning, keeping that. Sorcerer's Smoke. Everybody went mad for this. Mad. Colour story is quite neutral. I do really like it. I do want to play with it some more. I'm not going to get rid of it anyway because the quality is absolutely outstanding. But I need to figure out how to make it work for me. I felt like it was very bland on the eyes. Beautiful quality. I just need to get some depth from it. So I'm keeping that. And then we have the Fall Magic. This was very, very surprising. I knew that I wanted it because of this corner here. And I knew that the shimmers were like very, very beautiful in this palette. I was quite alarmed at how much pink there was in it because I just didn't think that went with the theme. However, when I did a look, I only used the matte and the matte sodas. I haven't even used the shimmers in this palette yet, so I'm definitely hanging on to this. Not Normal. This is the most, I think this is my favourite colour story I've ever seen in a palette, and it's also my favourite artwork. Look at how gorgeous it is. It's amazing. And this is what the colour story looks like. Oh. However, I do have the remastered version of this. So I'm going to let this go because who I'm passing it on to I think would really, really appreciate this colour story. So I'm going to let that one go. Fairy Frolic, again, cover artwork, amazing. Colour Story. This was one of the first palettes I got from Unearthly. I just wanted to try these. This one was on offer. It's not really for me. I'm going to pass that one on. This is the Strawberry Milkshake. It's quite a bright colour story. However, these reds are unbelievable. This one's like a satin in the middle. Absolutely unbelievable on the lid. So I'm dying to try the greens in this palette. So I'm going to keep this one. I don't think I'll ever get rid of this one. This was my favourite Unearthly palette for quite some time. I've used this a handful of times. It's just dead cute. Little 9 pan, very well curated, and you can get a number of different looks depending on how you're feeling and what you want to go for. Really, really like that, so I'm keeping that one. The Resurgence palette. Everyone hyped this because it was Heather Austin's collab. It is unusual, the colour story. I struggled with it, to be honest. But I do love it when a palette gives us a little bit of an education. So I'm going to hang on to this one as well because I want to play with it a bit more. I'm very intrigued using this bottom row. I think that could look quite pretty. And then we have the Dead of Night. So I'm tying up. I love this colour story, I really do. I'm considering letting it go because I've probably got similar colours. I think it's very reminiscent of the Lunar Beauty Siren Sunset palette as well. No, I'm going to keep that one. I don't think I'm ready to let that go yet. Up next we have Glamlight. I have quite a few palettes from Glamlight that I've tried. I'm just trying to knock them all over. This is Nightmare on Elm Street. This one is a Freddy Krueger palette and it's green and grungy. I love this. I don't think I'll ever let the horror collections go. They just hold a special place in my heart. I do have some videos which I'll put down below. I'm getting a little playlist together about the horror collections from Glamlight. This is a Crazy in Love palette from Glamlight, which is the Chucky one. This is what it looks like. I'm excited to use this more. In the look I did, I said it was very one note, the palette. I don't think it is. I'm really keen to get some variation out of this. I'm keeping that one. I don't think I'll get rid of any of the Glamlight ones. Rick and Morty, huge palette. But look at how it's laid out, look how bright it is. It's just really easy to use. Quality is outstanding as well. Amazing. Friday the 13th. This is like a VHS case. Let me just take it out. And it's got a lenticular cover. And this is what the colour story looks like. I've used the khaki greens, so I want to lean into the blues and the reds and see what beauties I can create from this. I like the idea of just using this row as well, like that purpley, mauvey kind of colour. Nice! This is the Frosted Flakes, or Frosties if you're from England. And the colour story looks like this. Blue and orange. I love it. I love blue and orange together and I love blue and teal together. So I'm keeping that. The Garfield palette. Loads of people love this palette. Myself included, I do love it. I just want to play with it a little bit more. Both looks I've done with this palette have been very similar. So I do want to get a little bit more variation out of the palette. This is Ghostface Lives. This is the original. They have done a Ghostface Returns palette. It's very cool, lean-in colour story. I'm not done playing with this palette. I really love the look I created with it. But yeah, I definitely want to see what else I can do. Then we have the Scooby-Doo palette. This is the Rip Roll Raggy palette, and it looks like this. Greens and blues, beautiful. Really want to do an all matte look with this. I did a dark blue shimmer heavy with a light in the corner. I really want to do an all matte look. And then we have the Hershey's Kisses, and this is the cookies and cream one. And this is what it looks like. I quite like it. It's unusual. It's an unusual colour story. So I'm keeping that as well. We've got one more bin. I'm just going to grab it. So last but not least, we have Nomad and Melt Cosmetics. So I think I'll start with Melt because they're all stood up like, oh no, I've actually got some other brands in amongst this. I didn't realise. I've actually got Come On Girls. So this is the Haunted palette. Tried this brand for the first time this year. Both palettes came broken, but I managed to push them back in. But I really loved the quality of this, of these shadows, and I love the colour story. It's very inspiring. And then Spooked was the second one. Same again, Broken, managed to push them back in. Brand was super lovely about replacing them if I needed to, but I didn't need to. But I really enjoyed them. This shade here, Pumpkin, unbelievable. Oh, so gorgeous. So gorgeous. Okay, Melt. So we've got She's in Parties. Loads of people were singing this palette's praises and I couldn't understand. I was like, it's very boring. When you actually get it, it's very beautiful in person. And I love the tones and all of the different depths that you can get with this palette as well. I'm very excited to have this. I'm keeping it. The Blueprint. This one, I've only actually used the neutral side to the palette. I haven't used the blue side. So obviously I want to keep it. I love Melt. Not probably unlikely to give any of these palettes up. The Fatally Yours, which was the Bailey Sarian collab. I actually kept inlay as well because it's our eyeballs and it's pretty cool. This is what the colour story looks like. Fantastic. Never given this one up. Never ever. The 420 palette. This is the palette that I cut my teeth on. My first Melt palette. And the colour story is absolutely phenomenal. As you can see. Beautiful. This is the Gemini palette. This is a cult classic. Everybody loves this. Colour story again. Beautiful. All of this grungy green goodness. This is the Rust palette. Actually feels like metal rusted. And we've got this lovely warm rust mustardy colour story. We have the Melt Myrta palette. Myrta, I think that's how you say it. This got brought back because everyone wanted it brought back because the colour story is teal and red. Very special to me, these palettes. I always get a bit nervous opening the Gemini 2 palette because there is a shade that is known to get mould on it, people say. Others say it's just wax bloom, and I'm always nervous to open it up. Yeah, mine's fine. So it's just like this grungy garden. Beautiful. And then we have the Halloween Town palette. And this was obviously a collab between The Nightmare Before Christmas and Melt. This is what the inside looks like. Sally's dress, that's what it reminds me of. For some reason these bottom colours remind me of the May. And then we've got the Christmas Town palette. Amazing. Shimmers in this with the die for. And that's what that looks like. Fun. Keeping them all. They're not fun anyway. Absolutely not. Oh, hang on. One more Melt. This was the more Mariposa. Loving butterflies. Slightly different to every other palette that they've released. It's got round pans. Quality's still there though. I like the colour story as well. Very cute. Okay, the rest is Nomad. So we've got the Royal Europe. This was their first go at multi-chromes. This is a very dual toned colour story. I've used this a couple of times. I'm not letting this go either. I don't think I'm going to let any of the Nomad palettes go. This is the Hudson Valley. I think this was the first Nomad palette I ever used. No, it wasn't, I'm telling a lie. This was the first video I ever did on YouTube using this though. I'll link that down below as well. This is what it looks like. I so want to go to the Hunter Valley. Just Hudson Valley. Hunter Valley's in Australia. I still want to go there though. So want to go here just for this colour story because this is what it's supposed to be like in autumn. This is the Harakuja palette. This is probably the only one I would consider letting go because it's a pastel palette and it's quite soft and there isn't that much depth in it. The shimmers are so pretty though. Can't make me mind up. That one's a maybe as well because I think some other people might get more use out of it. This is the Okavango Safari palette. It feels like leather. And this is what the inside looks like. Beautiful! This is the Land of Fire and Ice, Iceland. So this is what it looks like. So exciting. I think I've only used this once. I need to get in and use these. This is the whole purpose of this declutter, so I can kind of whittle down what I don't like, and then just get stuck on the stuff that I do. This is the Fête de Provence. This is gorgeous. I love this. I did a look with these greys. I've just stuck my finger in. Beautiful. So beautiful. This is the Whistler Snow Lodge palette. This is what it looks like. Stunning. Then we've got the Cartagena Magica palette. Very warm. Beautiful. Nomad are a destination-based indie brand. I didn't talk about this before. And basically, they travel and create colour stories from their travels, and then they always pick a cause to donate some of the profits to, which I really love. And they have this guessing game on their Instagram, so whenever they release a palette, they kind of give clues about the place and you have to guess. It's very exciting. No other brand does that, and I really love that. Paradise Islands, these are the bigger palettes, so it's like being in the Bahamas. So bright and beautiful, makes us want to go on holiday. This is the Bosque Nubosa de Monteverde, so it's Cloud Forest palette. So it's like the rainforest, so bright and beautiful. Then we have Ghost Town USA, so this was really cool. This was a Halloween release for 2023. This is what it looks like. Cool colour story, very pretty. And then last but not least, we have the Verona Amor e Morte, so it's the Love and Death palette based on Romeo and Juliet. So it opens like this, and it's got the love side and the death side, and it is beautiful. I like it a lot. That draws us to the end of all of the palettes that I've actually used. I still have a pile in here that I haven't used. So although it looks like I don't have that many, and even that is a bit of a stretch to say that, I actually have heaps. So I'm just going to pop these away, and then we're going to consider the ones that I've got sat down here and whether I'm going to keep them or not. The maybe pile. We'll consider the maybe pile. I really want to keep it because it's Nomad, and I love Nomad, but I just can't see me getting any use out of this at all. It's too soft. I tried. I'm gonna give it away. It makes us sad. And I think the same goes for these four. The longevity's not there for me either with these. That I have noticed that they're good companion palettes, but the longevity's not there, so I'm going to part with them as well. So that's not bad. So what's that? There's 5 there. So there's 5 there. Then there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 palettes decluttered. And I've also got this one. I haven't used it. I stuck my finger in this blue one here, the shimmer. But I'm actually going to give that away because I've got plenty of blue eyeshadows that are better quality than this. So yeah, I'm going to give that away with that one. That's 15 palettes I've decluttered. That's not bad. I don't actually know how many there was. Should I go through and count them all? Perhaps I should. Let's do that. So altogether, those 66 palettes. I'm decluttering 15, so I've only got 51 left that I've used, which I think is pretty good because I was sure I was in the 70s. So I'm actually quite proud of myself. Well done me. I'm going to wrap it up though because I feel like this video has gone on for long enough. If you like this video, and more importantly like me, give this video a thumbs up. And if you loved this video, and you loved me, maybe you should think about subscribing. That would be cool. I'd like to see you again. But otherwise, I'll see you next time.